Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of What If Izuku Midoriya Had Nightcrawler's Powers. There'll be a link in the description below and the annotation above to the first part if you haven't seen it yet. Please consider subscribing if you aren't already and if you're new to the channel. And if you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like if you want to see the series continue. Before I start, I want to say thanks to Burke Sullivan. I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name, because that may be a problem, since he suggested this series and gave me some great material that made my life a lot easier when writing this, and I really loved it, which is the reason I made this series first. Thanks, and I hope you all enjoy. In the last part, Midoriya managed to get into UA, using his Quirk to destroy as many robots as he can, and managed to save Uraraka by destroying the 0-point robot with the debris. After getting the good news from UA, Midoriya goes to his last days of middle school, with a big smile on his face. The last day, both Midoriya and Bakugo are called into the principal's office, where the principal congratulates them on entering UA. He says, "I can't believe that not one, but two of our students got into UA at the same time. This is astonishing." They thank the principal for his words and leave the office, returning to class. While walking back, Bakugo says, "Glad you got into the school after all, Izuku. But don't forget, the #1 spot is still mine." A bit more time passes and the first day of UA arrives. Midoriya gets ready to go to UA. While putting his shoes on, his mom asks, "You're sure you have everything you need, right? You didn't just pack action figures." Midoriya, annoyed at the comment, says, "I'm sure, Mom. Bye." Before Midoriya can get out the door, his mom says, "Wait, Izuku. I'm proud of you." Midoriya smiles and says goodbye to his mom and goes to school. A while later, Midoriya runs through the halls looking for his class, muttering, 1A, 1A, where's class 1? Oh, there it is! He finds a massive door, and before opening it, he thinks to himself, "I'm one step closer to achieving my dream. Wonder who's in my class. Hope Bakugo's in it." Midoriya opens the door. The first thing he hears is Ida saying, "Take you feet off the desk now. It's the first day and you are already disrespecting this academy by scuffing school property, you cretin!" Bakugo retorts, "You're kidding me, right? Did your old school put a stick up your ass, or were you born with it?" Ida says, "Let's start over. I'm Tenya Ida from the Somei Private Academy." Bakugo says, "Somei, huh? So you must think you're better than me. I'm going to have fun tearing you a new one." Ida, surprised, asks, "You would threaten me? Your own classmate? Are you sure you're in the right place?" Bakugo scoffs and leans back, noticing Midoriya, who is standing next to the door, and Bakugo says, "Sup, elf?" Everyone looks at Midoriya. Midoriya nervously says, "Hi, I'm..." Ida starts making his way, saying, "Good morning, my name..." He's interrupted. He's interrupted when Mina runs in front of Midoriya and says, "OMG, I heard of you! Blue. I'm Mina Ashido. I hope we can be the best of besties. Pink and blue. You mind if I call you Wild Blue Yonder Boy?" Midoriya, blushing a lot, says, Bakugo then breaks into laughter. "Don't bother with him. Yonder Boy is afraid of women." Midoriya defensively says, "No, I'm not, Chan. I'm just very..." Then Uraraka comes in the door. She says, "Hey, I recognize that devilish look." Izuku is surprised and teleports away. Uraraka says, "It's Blue Elf Boy." But then she opens her eyes and says, "Why did you teleport away?" Midoriya shyly says, "You just startled me is all." Uraraka says, "Anyway, my name is Ochako Uraraka. Nice to meet you. I'm glad you got into UA, but I'm not surprised after all. What you did was amazing." Mina gets a bit defensive and standing in the middle of them says, "Hey, hands off my future best friend. What's your name, by the way?" While turning to Izuku to look at him, asking him. While getting in, yeah, she's in the middle like a wall. Midoriya answers, well, I'm Izuku Midoriya. Nice to meet all of you." Uraraka then says, "Wonder what we'll be doing today besides orientation. I wonder what our teachers are like. I can't wait to meet everybody." Aisawa says, If you're just here to make friends, might as well pack up your stuff now. The people gathered at the entrance, Mina, Midoriya, Uraraka, and Ida, get a bit surprised and creeped out at what's standing before them. Aizawa continues, "Welcome to UA's hero course," and gets up from the floor while taking off his sleeping bag. He says, "It took you 8 seconds before you all shut up. That's not going to work. Time is precious. Rational students would understand that." Everyone stares at Aizawa, wondering who he is. Aizawa says, "Right, let's get to it." He grabs his sports uniform from his sleeping bag and says, "Put these on and meet me outside." Outside, Aizawa tells the students that they will be doing a Quirk assessment test. Uraraka says, "But orientation, we're going to miss it." Aizawa explains that he can do whatever he wants since he is a teacher at UA. That means being more efficient with the time and missing a pointless ceremony. He gives a softball to Bakugo and tells him to throw it as far as he can, using his quirk. Bakugo does so and throws it 705.2 meters away. The class gets very excited. Kaminari says, 705.2 meters? Are you kidding me? Mina says, "I want to go, that looks like fun." And Zero says, "Nice, we get to use our quirks as much as we want." Aizawa says, "So this looks like fun, huh? Let's make this a bit more interesting then. The one with the worst scores will be expelled immediately." And the whole class gets scared. Uraraka says, "That's it, that isn't fair." But Aizawa points out that the world isn't fair and he wants the students to prove themselves. For the actual test, Midoriya does pretty well for himself. In the first test, the 50-meter dash, he manages to do it in 0.2 seconds since he just teleported from one end to the other. For the second test, the strength grip, he manages to do 64 kilograms. In the long jump, he missed the sand pit because he teleported over it. And in the second attempt at the sand pit, he also missed the sand pit even without teleporting, because he jumps very high. For a softball throw, Midoriya throws the ball 510.30 meters. He does this by teleporting 500 meters in the air, his limit on distance, and from there he throws the ball. I did the math on how far the ball would go, so 510.3 meters. I may be wrong, but I did the math, so I'm gonna say I'm right. After the test, Aizawa shows the scores and says, "And as for who's going home, that was a logical deception to get you to give it your all." Everyone breathes a sigh of relief as Yororozu says, "I'm surprised none of you figured it out. Maybe I should have said something," as the whole class says, "Yeah, maybe you should have." In this version of events, Midoriya got about 7th place. Bakugo, a bit mad that he didn't get first, goes up to Midoriya and says, "Not bad, Izuku, but still, at this rate, you have no chance of beating me, do you?" Ajudo, talking to Midoriya, goes up to Midoriya and says, "Wow, you did great, Wall Blue Yonder boy. You even got 3 spots above me." Midoriya says, "Please call me Midoriya," while kind of touching the back of his head, like, nervously. After school, Midoriya starts says goodbye to Ashido and to Bakugo and starts making his way towards the station. Ida follows him and says, "Well, I wanted to say something earlier, but I didn't get the chance." Like, he runs up towards him. "You figured out there was more to the practical exam, didn't you? You figured out about the existence of the rescue points, right? That's why you tried helping out and saved the Infinity Girl." Midoriya says, "No, that's not it. It's just it was pure instinct, you know." Ida says, "Regardless, I do wish us both to become friends since I view you as the superior student and want to learn from you. Are you interested?" Midoriya says yes as Uraraka runs behind them saying, "Hey, wait up you two! Are you going to the station? I'll join you!" Ida says, "Oh, you are Infinity Girl." Uraraka says, Yes, I'm Ochako Uraraka. Let's see, and you are Tenya, Ida, and Izuku, right, Midoriya?" Midoriya says, "Yes, that's right," very stiffly. And the three of them make their way to the station. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, the second part of this mini-series. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. If it gets enough support, it will go past the season 1. If you are new, make sure to subscribe and check out some of my other videos on the channel. Leave your suggestions in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time. Bye! Again, thanks to Burke Sullivan.